Listen to Sherlock Holmes and the Hound of the Baskervilles by Arthur Conan Doyle, Level A2, Oxford Reading University.
Part 2.
Check out Part 1 here.
5. Letter 1. Baskerville Hall, October 13th. My dear Holmes, I suppose Sir Henry likes Miss Stapleton, but it makes her brother very angry. Also, Sir Henry and I asked Barrymore about the telegram. No, sirs, the mailboy didn't give it to me. My wife received it. He told us. I was working in the house. One night, I heard footsteps outside my door. It was Barrymore. He walked slowly and quietly, holding a candle. He went to the end of the hall. Then he stood by the window and looked at something for a long time. I went back into my room. After a while, I heard the front door open. I am sure you can understand the meaning of all this. I look forward to hearing from you. Sincerely yours, Dr. John Watson. Letter 2. Baskerville Hall, October 15th. My dear Holmes, I am now sharing even stranger events with you. Sir Henry wishes to marry Miss Stapleton. The night before, he went for a walk with her. I remembered your instructions and followed him. They were together. Suddenly, Mr. Stapleton ran close to them. He shouted loudly and waved his arms. When we were back at the house, Sir Henry told me that Mr. Stapleton was a wild little man. Later that day, Mr. Stapleton visited us at Baskerville Hall. I am sorry, Sir Henry. I was rude, he said, but I was very worried about my sister. She is everything to me. I invite you to have dinner with us. And what about Barrymore? Sir Henry and I waited until the right hour and caught him by the window at night. What are you doing, Barrymore? Sir Henry shouted.
Do you know the only place where you can learn English with your favorite movie heroes? Over app. Movie characters will teach you English grammar, words, pronunciation, and listening, all in one place. appewa.com.
I am checking the windows, sir, Barrymore replied. His voice was quiet. Don't lie to me. Tell me now, or I will throw you out. Sir Henry was angry. Are you sending signals to someone? I asked. No, it isn't his fault. We heard Mrs. Barrymore's voice behind us. He is doing it for me. My little brother is out there on the moor. He has no food or clothing. So your brother? I couldn't believe it. Yes, he is Selden, the criminal that has run away from prison. We can't leave him alone, she said, and she started crying. Sir Henry opened the window. We saw candlelight in the distance. Let us catch that awful man. Take your revolver, Sir Henry told me. We made our way through the moor. Suddenly, there was a long, terrible howl. What was that, Watson? I have heard that sound before, I answered. People say it is the Hound of the Baskervilles. Sir Henry touched my hand. His skin was cold as ice. We reached the lonely candle and saw Selden behind the stones. He had an angry face covered with mud and wild eyes. When he saw us, he shouted loudly and ran. We followed him and jumped over the rocks, but he managed to run away. Suddenly, in the light of the moon, I saw a tall, thin stranger standing on a hill. Before I could do anything, he was gone. So we solved one mystery, but found another. I wish you could be here to help me with it. Sincerely yours, Dr. John Watson. 6. The next evening, Watson and Sir Henry got important information from Barrymore. The night Sir Charles died, he went to the gate to see a woman, he said. They jumped to their feet. How did you know? Watson and Sir Henry asked. My wife was cleaning his study room. There, she found a piece of a burned letter. It was signed with the letters L.L. The next day, Watson talked to Mortimer. It turned out that there was a woman named Laura Lyons. She lived in Combe Tracy, not far from Dartmoor. She married a young painter, Mortimer explained. Her father didn't like it. Then the painter left her and she was poor. Stapleton and Sir Charles supported her with money. Later that day, Watson talked to Barrymore about the stranger on the hill. Selden told me he was a gentleman, Barrymore said. He lives in one of the ancient stone houses along the moor. Some young boy brings him food. The next day, Watson visits Laura Lyons. She confirms that she wrote to Sir Charles. However, she says that she didn't go to see him that terrible night. She also tells Watson that someone is helping her and giving her money, but she refuses to name that person. Watson is confused. He doesn't know what he should do next. On his way back, Watson saw a boy climbing up a hill. He was sure it was the same boy that brought food to the mysterious man in the stone houses. Now I know the right direction, Watson thought. He followed the boy. When the boy entered one of the houses, Watson stopped and waited. He didn't want the boy to notice him. Soon the boy left, and Watson went inside. There were many signs of man. On the ground, Watson found a small note. Dr. Watson went to Combe Tracy. He followed my every step, Watson thought. He hid in the corner of the room and waited. Soon, he heard footsteps by the door. He put his hand on his revolver. It is a fine evening, dear Watson. Shall we go for a walk? Somebody asked. It is a fine evening, dear Watson. Shall we go for a walk? Somebody asked. Watson knew this voice very well. 7. My dear Holmes, Watson cried. Why are you here? Since when have you been hiding? I came here the same day you did, Holmes answered. And you didn't say anything. Watson was shocked. If the criminal knows I am watching him, he will never show himself, Holmes explained. Watson told him about his visit to Laura Lyons. Very helpful, Holmes said. It is clear that Stapleton and Lyons have a close relationship, and his wife... His wife? Watson cried in surprise. Miss Stapleton is not his sister, but his wife, Holmes explained. My God, it can't be! Watson was shocked. Yes, my dear friend. I have researched his past. He is using her for his own purposes, Holmes continued. So he is our enemy? He followed Sir Henry in London? Watson asked. Yes. And the beard wasn't real? Watson suggested. Exactly, Holmes replied. What are his purposes? Watson asked. We shall find out, Holmes said. First, we need to go see Laura Lyons again. Suddenly, they heard a long, terrible scream across the moor. Then, there was a howl. Watson's blood went cold. Even his serious friend was scared. It is the dog! Quick! Holmes shouted. They ran and soon came upon a terrible sight. Under the hill lay the body of Henry Baskerville. He has fallen and broken his neck. We are too late, Holmes shouted. Oh, I couldn't protect him, Watson cried. And I was too careful. It has destroyed our friend. Let us take care of the body, Holmes said. He walked closer to Sir Henry. Suddenly, his face changed. The dead man under the tree wasn't Sir Henry. It was Selden in Sir Henry's clothes. Barrymore has given him Sir Henry's suit, Watson guessed. This clothing has the same smell as Sir Henry's old shoe, Holmes explained, and the dog has recognized it. The smell was right, but it was the wrong man. A man's figure was coming toward them through the moor. It was Stapleton. He ran up to the body. Who is that? He asked in a shaking voice. It is Selden, the killer that ran away from prison, Watson explained. I thought it was Sir Henry. Why did you think it was him? I invited him for dinner tonight, but he didn't come, Stapleton said. When I heard the scream, I was worried about him. Those stories about the dog? You don't think he just fell down the hill, do you? Watson asked. He was running away from someone or something. Well, gentlemen, I'm going back to London tomorrow, Holmes said. Actually, that was a lie. How, Mr. Holmes? So soon? Stapleton was unsure. Yes, it is an unsuccessful case for me. I work with facts, not fantasy. They said goodbye. Stapleton went home, and the two friends went to Baskerville Hall. 8. Sir Henry is happy that Holmes finally came. In the evening after dinner, the men sit in the living room and discuss the accident. Henry invites the detective to dinner at the Stapletons. Excuse me, my friend, but tomorrow Watson and I are going to London. To London? Henry was shocked. Yes, but we will be back soon, Holmes promised. You must go to the Stapletons. be sure to go across the moor on foot." "But you told me to never do so." "Please believe me, this is for the best," Holmes said. "Okay, I will do as you tell me," Sir Henry replied. In the house, there is a picture of Hugo Baskerville on the wall. Before going to bed, Holmes takes a close look at it. He discovers that Hugo looks a lot like Stapleton. It is possible that Stapleton is a member of the Baskerville family. If it is so, then he wants the house and the money of Sir Charles for himself. Now, Watson begins to understand why his friend has lied to Sir Henry about going to London. At dinner, Sir Henry will confirm this lie to Stapleton. However, Holmes and Watson don't go to London. Instead, they visit Laura Lyons. Holmes showed Mrs. Lyons a photo of a married couple. "Look at it. These people are Stapleton and his wife. You know this woman as his sister, but she is not." Laura Lyons was very angry. Then suddenly, she was sad. "All right, I will tell you everything. Stapleton was going to marry me," Laura said. "He told me to write that letter to Sir Charles. Then Stapleton told me not to go to meet Sir Charles. And when Sir Charles died, he told me to keep quiet. A terrible, awful man," Laura cried. 9. Holmes and Watson go to Merrypit House and hide behind the trees. Watson walks quietly towards the window and looks inside. Stapleton and Sir Henry are talking. Henry looks stressed. Then Stapleton walks out and goes into a small house outside. Some strange noises come from there. When Stapleton returns to Sir Henry, Watson goes back to Holmes. A thick fog has covered the road, and it is hard to see anything. "If Sir Henry doesn't come out now, we won't be able to protect him from the Hound's attack," Holmes was worried. Finally, they saw Sir Henry's figure. He quickly walked down the narrow road. At that moment, they heard a long, terrible howl. A dog ran out of the fog. It was huge as a lion. Its coat was black, but it shone brightly. Its eyes burned, and fire came out of its mouth. The Hound of the Baskervilles was coming after Sir Henry. Holmes and Watson shouted and shot their guns. Sir Henry ran and waved his arms in the air. The awful hound was about to jump at him, but Holmes shot 5 times and it fell dead. The men ran up to Sir Henry. Fortunately, he had no injuries. The hound's body lay next to him. It was still shining. Watson touched it, and his fingers started shining too. "Phosphorus!" he cried. "Yes," Holmes said. "We have killed the ancient curse of the Baskervilles." They went into the house, but Stapleton wasn't there. However, they found Mrs. Stapleton. She was tied and couldn't move. The men set her free. "Is Sir Henry all right?" she asked. "Yes," Holmes replied. "And the dog?" Mrs. Stapleton asked in a worried voice. "Dead," Holmes said. "Thank God!" She looked happy. "Tell us, Where could your husband hide? Holmes asked. There is a small island on the moor, she answered. He kept his dog there. It was too dangerous to go there on a foggy night. The next morning, Mrs. Stapleton showed the way to the place. There, they found many signs of the criminal and Sir Henry's old shoe, but Stapleton himself wasn't there. He was forever lost in the dark moor. We have never met a more dangerous criminal than this, Holmes said as he looked around the moor. 10. On a cold, foggy night, Holmes and Watson sit by the fireplace in their apartment in London. They talk over the full story of Stapleton. This man really was a Baskerville. He lived with his wife in Latin America. He learned about Sir Charles and his money and came to England. There, he changed his name to Stapleton and planned his awful crime. Stapleton knew about the Hound and about Sir Charles's weak heart, so he bought a big, scary dog. He asked his wife to bring Sir Charles to a dangerous place, but she refused. Then he found Laura Lyons and used her. It was Mrs. Stapleton who sent Sir Henry the note, "If you don't want to die, stay away from the moor." In order to catch the criminal, Holmes had to use Sir Henry. After the Hound's attack, the gentleman was feeling unwell, so Dr. Mortimer took him on a long trip around the world. And so ends this story, my dear Watson, Holmes says. We have done a lot of work. Now, let us enjoy a night at the opera.
Don't forget to press like to get more audiobooks like this. So now listen to another English story